Yeah, so multicultural marketing is a word that's being used to define campaigns or advertising that's uniquely suited to very specific culturally diverse audiences that actually have very unique identity of their own, and many times language in the way they speak and what they use and how they interact with each other and their families and so forth in the society. We think of multicultural advertising more as a way to look at the roots and the value systems that not only cater to specific audiences like Hispanic or blacks or others or Asian, but more as a way to use it as the springboard to relate with a much broader segment of the society that loves to have that kind of an overall identity, because society as a whole here in the US is culturally diverse. And therefore campaigns that might be originally targeted to Hispanics or blacks may also resonate if they are catered to in the right way. For example, the millennial audience relates quite well with all of the uniqueness that the Hispanic audiences have actually brought to the market in terms of their interest in music, their interest in food and cuisine. All of those things have actually made focus on multicultural advertising much more so to be broadly diversified across many, many different types of audiences, and it resonates. And therefore, when a client makes an excuse and says, look, I don't have a specific program for the Hispanic audience or the black audiences, our response is more, what is unique about their identities that will allow you to not just grow that particular market, but also to then resonate so that the general market benefits from that whole thing, and therefore the whole program overall will be extremely successful. And that's the way you deliver the ROI.
I've heard that you're very selective with your clients, but what do you look for in a client?
Yeah, so, it's not to be more elitist in the sense that we simply ignore certain clients and work with certain ones. It's more to do with what allows us to do the best work for the clients. So the clients who are ideally suited to working with us are the ones who are digitally savvy, and they're not simply going to take a broadcast campaign and think of digital as an extension of that, but more they would think more different types of thoughts about sometimes starting a campaign that is mobile first, or a campaign that is Hispanic first, or however they think about it, right? So that they remain very open-minded in the way they think about how they make an impact using their brands with the different audiences, and therefore they're open to new ideas. They're open to thinking different thoughts, what goes first, what's more ideal, where do you allocate the budgets based on where people's attention spans are longer. All of those things can actually make a huge difference. We are active proponents of multi-screen, multi-device kind of activity, simply because the eyeballs have been shifting all over the place. No longer is everybody in the family room and always glued to the TV. Even if they're sitting in the living room, they might be spending most of their time on their smartphones, right? And therefore, we need clients to be thinking broadly about where the attention span shifts. That allows us to be able to think of bigger, broader ideas that will make an impact not just to specific audiences, but across the board.